Allez. Okay, so obviously a pretty good start on 10 string wise and stuff. And then this one, I want you to notice really all the good stuff in terms of what we've been working on, and then just the difference in the release that we'll see in the other videos. Okay, so aiming left, okay, but this gets progressively worse as you'll see. Aiming left with the shoulders. Maybe we can't say aiming left, open shoulders, let's say that. Club face and feet is pretty good. Shoulders wide open, and it gets worse. Okay, backswing good, posture control good. Okay, trying to use the legs, very nice, using the legs nicely. Okay, hands are pretty close to the body. And this strike was better than I thought. We had a touch of posture movement, but this strike was better than I thought. Okay, so it's a much better swing than the shot. Okay, and then you just kind of over-rotated the face. So the face went from quite open to quite square, but then to very closed. Okay, so just a lot of face rotation. Okay, or if we could look at it this way, that face is now almost 90 degrees closed. Okay, so the club face is aiming there. And obviously in this frame, it's aiming there. So about, what are we saying there? Almost 180 degrees of rotation in a short space of time, which is why the ball went left. Okay, the rest of the stuff looks really good, mate. Okay, so watch the difference here now. Okay, we've already started to open those shoulders even more. It's obviously a bit of a problem. Okay, but watch the difference here. Beautiful backswing. Beautiful change of direction. Arms nicely in the slot. Okay, face a little bit better. Still a bit open, but a little bit better. And then watch this strike and release. Okay, actually, obviously hit it out the toe, but even opened it through impact. So a completely different strike and release on that one. Okay, 4 holes, 5 holes in, and now its shoulders have gone even more open, yeah, to the left. Okay, obviously a left to right win, but still, that's just way too far open. Okay. Backswing pretty good, a little bit softer this one. Hip work good, arms coming down in the slot, arms a little away from you maybe on this one. Okay, but obviously you've got to swing away from your body because you're aiming so far left. Okay, and then that was a lovely release. Look at that release all of a sudden. So then another inconsistent. So this face, much squarer coming in, much less rotation. Okay, and that's why that one was pretty good. Okay, and then this one from the other angle, now you'll see even a different release. Okay, I guess in a way similar to the iron shot on 12, but just even more. Okay, set up everything looking good. Backswing, leg work, posture, excellent. Nice change of direction. Okay, now watch this release. Okay, that is no release. Really holding on. Okay, a bit of a cricket release, that one. And that face is now wide open. Okay, so a lot of good stuff. Okay, but just so inconsistent with the delivery of the club. Okay, and then obviously sort of a little bit softer with smoother tempo. Otherwise, we're happy. Hey, matey. All right, thanks for a lekker morning. I really enjoyed it. Good to see you guys out there. Actually, there was a lot of impressive stuff, okay, which I guess is part of the journey. But, you know, certain shots and certain holes, you know, you look like a single-figure handicap, and then all of a sudden it just goes pear-shaped. Okay, so we've got to get that consistency that is fair. All right, but even when I start looking at your videos there, we can see there the stuff that we've worked on. Wow, what a huge change. What a huge change. And that is then, you know, makes us feel good. It certainly makes me proud of the journey so far. Right? That is actually translating to those shots. that we see out on the golf course. All right. So obviously a little bit of takeaway. Right, the sequencing, learning to use the hips from the top, not yank. All right, and then obviously getting the hands in here, not out, away from the body. Just brilliant, isn't it? Look at those swings that we've analyzed there. Just absolutely fantastic. Okay, really, really good. All right, we must stay on top of it, but really happy with the progress. All right, so on the golf course, and we can see it got worse, right? Okay, the club head and feet are quite good. His shoulders are just way open, aiming so far left. All right, so then we're kind of having to swing. We're doing the right things. We'll be able to swing a little bit from here, and then that kind of changes that body angles a little bit of impact. It's not free rotation through the golf ball. Okay, so I think alignment's going to help a lot of it. Okay, and then the only other thing what I want to work on for a little bit, okay, is if you watch the swing in motion. Okay, it's still a little bit sort of rigid and out of sync. And then if we see in slow-mo, what that's translating to is quite an inconsistent club face. Okay, different amounts of rotation in that face and very inconsistent release. We saw one of the releases, okay, a little bit of excess face rotation. One was pretty good release, and then the other one was sort of no rotation whatsoever. Okay, so it's just too inconsistent. So for both of those reasons, actually, we just want to learn how to use the wrist and that properly. So I want to create a little bit of softness up here at the top of the swing. Okay, a little bit of set and softness up here. Okay, and then I want to learn how to release the golf club properly. All right. How do we release the golf club properly? Well, obviously it's based on length and plane of backswing. Okay, but basically we drive the hip open. Okay, generally about 45 to 60 degrees. You're doing that. Okay, we leave the hands alone so that they sort of hold the energy back, and we keep this flexion in the right hand. Okay, and then as we get to the golf ball, okay, we unload that flexion with as little rotation as possible. Okay, now if the club face is not square, if the club face is open, we've got to fix it somewhere else in the swing. We don't want to fix it, so we don't want to rotate and release. Okay, so we hold that flexion and sometimes even increase it with the hip rotation. Okay, and then as we get to impact, okay, we release it. It's like a slap. We give it a slap. All right, and the point that you slap is actually generally just past the golf ball. Okay, I know it doesn't always feel like that, but that is how it works. Okay, so we've got the flexion, hip opens up. Okay, and then we snap it over there about a meter or so past the golf ball. That's how we release it. That's how we release it. Okay, that's the drills we're going to start doing. And I want you to start feeling that if you get time at home as well. Okay, obviously from there the putting is an issue. The general setup and the strike could be a little bit better, but it's there. How we're releasing this stuff is better. Okay, so it's the process, the green reading, and the touch, the pace control. That's what we have to do, and that's what we're going to start doing. Okay, we're going to start working on those three things and start putting them in together. Okay. Otherwise, mate, thank you very much, and I will speak to you soon.